Welcome back to Pero Kama Podcast. I'm gonna get better, girl. I'm gonna learn how to roll my R's.
I thought you did
In
great.
this video, thank you.
You're welcome.
I live for acknowledgement.
Disclaimer out there. What?
Yes. So this video, we are.
What did you say
What do you mean?
before? I said I think you did great.
Oh, I was saying thank you. I live for acknowledgement.
Oh, well, you did amazing, darling.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's already big. It's fine. So in this video, we are going to be discussing our theories for Crescent City 3 book that is coming out on January 30th. We're going to have a good time. These are our theories, guys. So if you're here, we assume that you have read the book. For those who have not read the books, it is Sarah J. Maas. She wrote the series for Throne of Glass. She also wrote Crescent City books, House of Sky and Earth. Child, I don't know. I'll put them up on the screen. And then
too.
Right. And Crescent City 3 is coming out. And then she also wrote Akatar, which is the A Court of Thorns and Roses. Just a little overview. If you have not read these books and you don't know what we're talking about, Akatar was a Beauty and Beast retelling. That's what they said. I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't get that. Liz got it.
At the beginning, I saw it. Remember, I texted you and I'm like, this sounds like Beauty and the Beast. And you're like, you saw that?
I was like, I didn't get that at all. I didn't pick up none of that. My context clues were non-existent.
Replace the books with...
Yeah.
And he's the Beast, and he has to make her fall in love with him. Or not make her, but anyways, go.
Right.
Yeah.
So essentially that's it. Her name is Farah, the main character, the female lead. Her name is Farah. She killed a fairy. She ended up going into this fairy world with Tamlin. I was going to be rude. With Tamlin. Tamlin is the Beast. They have to fall in love to break the spell. That's book 1. Book 2, she then goes to the Night Court, city of Valaris.
And learns. Her eyes are open.
Right. She meets her boo, her mate, which is Reese.
He is fine. He's not my R, but he is fine.
Yes. And then the book 3 is pretty much just a war. Who cares? Anyways, Crescent City.
Don't do that. Because book 3, I'm on it right now listening to it. And I forgot how much.
There's a lot of stuff. But we're going to get into that when we go into the theories. Mm-hmm. So then Crescent City is about Bryce. She is the female main character. Hunt, who is a cop, essentially. Now, this is more like an urban fantasy. They have cell phones. They have TVs. They have reality TV shows that people are addicted to. Yeah.
Sunball.
Sporting events, but they have Fae and they have shippers. Yeah. So they have all of that.
They had to go on a boat in Throne of Glass that would take them months to get somewhere.
Right. Because I'm at the part. I'm still reading Throne of Glass, you guys. So for me, again, I'm trying to catch up before the book comes out. I'm still reading it. I'm tandem reading Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms, which is in the Throne of Glass series. So I've only gotten so far. That was not proper English. But Crescent City is Hunt, Bryce, their love story. Bryce is half Fae. Her daddy is the Autumn King. He is the Fae, and he's strong until she did the drop. We're gonna explain that. And ended up she's stronger than her pappy. Just saying.
By smidge,
but it's still stronger.
Just enough to show she petty.
You know what I did realize about that book though? Hunt reminds me of Thor. Did you get that?
What? Okay.
But we're gonna discuss that. We're gonna get into that.
see that.
I'm gonna tell you why, but we're gonna get into that. And so they fall in love. They have the ruling power, which is the Asteri. The Asteri is out here playing people and taking their power. And then she went through a portal. Right. And then she went through a portal. And the portal brought her to Reese. And the court.
And Az.
Yeah. Liz has so many theories on Az, y'all. Don't even get us started. But that is just
I don't want to be
basic synopsis so that you can understand where we're going. And this is how Crescent City 2 ended, is that she went through the portal, she met Reese, and now Sarah J. Maas is combining like a multiverse type of thing.
Yes.
So
we don't know if Throne of Glass is going to be involved in the multiverse.
Right.
I would love for it to be, because it is my favorite Sarah J. Maas series.
Right. For me, I just want to make sure I know what's happening if she does bring them in, so I'm not looking crazy like, who is this? Why are they talking? It's actually a pretty good series. I will give you that, because I wasn't trying to read it.
No, I know.
Right.
I know it's not for everyone. I know. And if I've ever recommended it to you and you try to read it and it wasn't your jam, it's okay. I get it. It's not, I honestly think it is the best one out of all 3 series because of the world building. And honestly, fucking Aylin.
And I was telling my sister, yeah, she's amazing. But I was telling my sister, I was like, for me, as I'm reading the books, because she was like, you love ACOTAR, but as you're reading this, I feel like all of your answers are like for Throne of Glass. Yeah, but I feel like because she had so many books for Throne of Glass, I feel like she had more time to flesh out the characters. There's a lot more world building. Like, I can imagine what Terrasen looks like, if that's how you say it.
I mean, that's how I say it.
Okay, cool. Let's go with that. It's so much more. And the story is a lot more intricate, if you ask me. So, first theory.
Yeah.
Liz thinks Azriel is a punk. Go.
Okay, no. Because I know people are going to come for me. I love Az. I love him. I think he's so amazing. I don't want to think these things. I just don't. But I do. And this is where we're at. Okay? I love him. I don't want to be right. And I hope I'm not. Sarah J. Maas, I hope I'm not right. If you hear this, see this, whatever. There's just a lot of things that point to Az. There's a lot. I mean, at least from my perspective. But
let's go with your first one.
Okay. As to why I think he's bad, or okay, anyways, okay. So I was on TikTok one night when I wasn't supposed to be, and I saw this thing, and this is what opened my eyes. And they were like, oh, well, did you not notice that Az's eyes ended up glowing gold, like the Valg? And I was like, see, this is what I need to find it. I'm going to find it, and it's going to be linked below. I'm going to find it for everybody. Because I was like, oh my God, the Valgs do have, and for those of you who have not read Throne of Glass, the Valg, they're the main bad people.
They're the big bad in that series.
They're like a parasite that takes over a body and controls the body. So, I mean, if there's not linking there between the series, I don't know where you would find it. But anyway, so when they said that, I was like, wait a minute, Az. And just things started coming up to life. For instance, in the second book of ACOTAR, it's not Wings and Ruin, it's Mist and Fury.
Mist and Fury.
When they went to Hybern, that the king of Hybern shot Azriel, of all people, and he's like, you better be careful because I can control the poison and where it goes. Why Az? And Az pulled his shadows out. No, don't do this to me. He pulled his shadows out just in time for everything to happen. Like, how'd you know when to pull him out?
Also, we just want to point out, Azrael is the only one of them that has shadow power. Just saying.
Reese does too, doesn't he? Because the shadows cling to him. Remember, oh, that's night. Is it night? Is it the shadow 19? Rune can also control shadows.
Yes, and Rune is from Crescent City.
Mm-hmm.
Rune.
And in Throne of Glass.
Who's in Throne of Glass?
Lorcan.
Listen, Lorcan, I don't know if that's made after a real person, but he is fine.
Oh my God, isn't he? Isn't he? Even though he's a dick sometimes, you know. Like, I get it. He's led by death itself, so.
Yes, death speaks to him, y'all. Y'all need to read Throne of Glass.
And he's more powerful. Really, oh my.
Yeah. So. That's fine, though. My baby don't need power.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you to ring Kingdom of Ash. Anyway, so to the theories.
And so Azrael, you said he pulled his shadows, and so what? He did that on purpose?
How do we know he didn't? This is why someone who's into like the mysteries, and I blame it on my mom growing up with Perry Mason and Murder, She Wrote and all that stuff. We're always looking. Yeah. We're always looking.
Yeah.
Always looking for something. Like everything is like, wait a minute.
Right.
What did?
Yeah.
You know, so blame it on my mama.
So my only thing that would make me agree with you is when I read A Court of Silver Flames, Nesta's book, Cassian made a point to say that Reese had the same type of sculpture. I don't know what you want to call it. It basically showed like the worlds and how they operated, how they would move in sync with one another. Mm-hmm. And that it was layered. They said that it was layered, maybe between 13 and 26 different universes. There were parallel universes. They were layered.
I have my thought on that.
Yeah. And Cassian was like, I really don't give a shit. This makes sense. But he said that Azrael was always interested, like, what? Where they going? How you get there? What is this for? How do you intersect that? Well, how does this? And I'm like, okay, well, why are you asking all these questions, Azrael? What you trying to do? Where you trying to go? You been here.
Okay. And here's me playing the devil's advocate against myself, because I know I am the one that is saying what I'm saying about Az. This is where I play the devil's advocate for myself, for him, against myself. Anyway, he is a shadow daddy. So the shadows know things that we don't, and we might not. So they might be telling him like, look, there's this stuff, there's other shit going on. So that might, you know, like keep him like looking, hopefully.
So my theory for Crescent City 3, y'all, for those of you who have read it, I'm so sorry. I think Azrael may die. Only because of what Sarah J. Maas said. She released, she did an interview. She said that there will be multiple deaths, plural. Now, we do know she has killed people and brought them back, but she says it's high stakes. So I think Azrael is going to die because she released a scene that said that Bryce was running back towards Nesta and Azrael and hoping that there was something for her to save.
What if Nesta was fighting Az? But back to that layers. Back to that layers thing, it makes sense. And I've always said it. I believe, my theory, I believe that all of these realms are layered on top of each other, because in Throne of Glass, and I don't know if you've gotten there yet, because I think it is in Kingdom of Ash when it happens. When Aelin, she goes through a portal. And in that portal, she ends up falling through all the realms. And that's where she sees Reese with a pregnant pharaoh. She doesn't know that that's their name, but she sees a male with wings and a pregnant female. So it makes sense. And if you look at it, if you like within the books, they all have their special mountain.
Yep.
They all have the river. They all have some southern continent they got to go to.
Yep.
So maybe it's like the same plane, but just different realms. Like it's, you know, am I making sense?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And then I also feel like Nesta's friends are going to come into play. Nesta has 2 friends, Emery and what's the other girl's name?
Gwyneth? Gwen and...
First of all, let's start with how Gwen is Lucian's child. Okay? Nobody's talking about that.
Calamine?
Yeah.
Calamine?
Yeah.
No, isn't
that's
that
his child?
Calamine? Calamine?
Calamine. Calamine.
Calamine is...
Yeah. Yeah, Calamine. But yeah, Gwen is Lucia's child. Gwen is redheaded. Okay. She don't know who her daddy is. She said her mama went down to the spring court, which is where Lucian was at, and Tamlin stay at, and they had to do the Calamine. Calamine is a magical orgy, y'all. Okay? That's what that is. Just to put it in layman's terms.
Sleeps with the High Lord, right?
Correct. And so he said that Tamlin was out of it and could not perform. And so he had to do it so that magic could be released into the spring court, and he hunched somebody. And then she came home and she was pregnant, and she never went back to the spring court and told, that's your daughter. He just don't know. That's what I think.
I can see that.
They need, yeah. But also,
and then
I think Emily and Gwen are
he's not.
Lucian what?
He's not, Lucian's not blood related to the. I'm sorry, I'm moving. Lucian's not the Autumn King's son or High Lord's son.
Correct.
He's Hellions, right? Hellion,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm at a part where he's in it right now, and I forgot how much I love him. He's funny.
Hellion a little harlot. I like it though. And then my next thing was the reason why I think Emery and Gwen are going to come into play is because in the ACOTAR series, they had to participate in what's it called? The rite?
Yes.
The rite.
Yes.
So the rite is something that the Illyrians do. These are where Reese people come from. Reese, Azriel, Cassian. These are the male characters, main male characters, I guess you would say. They come from a little place. I don't know. They have wings, they train, and then they have to do the rite. There's 3 levels to the rite. I don't know what the names are. I'm honestly not going to look it up. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'll look it up while you...
But my point, though, is that Nesta, Emery, and Gwen had to perform in the rite. Emery and Gwen went to the top of the mountain, had to touch a stone, and then they poof, disappeared. Now in Crescent City, I'm just saying, that's what happened. Now in Crescent City, Bryce had to run to, what is that called? What is that thing called? The middle of the city or something. They did something that's called the drop. Essentially, that what happens is when you do the drop, you get your powers. You're able to tap into your powers. You become Fae or whatever. You're immortal. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. You're immortal. You get your powers that way. I think that's what Emery and Gwen did. I think they touched that stone and they did the drop and they just didn't know the words for it. Also, Reese, Cassian, and Azriel were the only 3 ever to make the drop. And they're also the 3 strongest males. So I don't think they knew they did the drop because I don't think they actually have a term for it or realize what they did. I think I think that the Asteri realized what they were doing or what they could do. And when they brought those people over to Midgard, which is where Crescent City is based, they had them do the drop so that they can get their powers. Eat off of their powers, I should say. So I think that's going to come into play, though. So when they get into a war or fight or whatever is going to happen in Crescent City 3, I think they're going to come into play and realize they're actually stronger. And that's where Lucian going to meet his child. I think that's a factor.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then I think Tamlin's going to die. I think he's going to come in to fight at the last moment. And I think I don't think he ever got over Farah. And so I think he's going to make that risk.
When it comes to him, I was with everybody else. I was just like, the first book, I'm like, oh my God, Tamlin. Yeah. But then when I got towards the end, I kind of got the ick. Like, when we were under the mountain, the way I get why Farah felt the way she felt towards Tamlin, because it's like, motherfucker, your whole land, and you're just like, oh, like, it's annoying to me. It wasn't until I was talking to my friend, and she's like, I really don't like how they did Tamlin in the book. I was like, and when I listened to it again, I saw her point. I don't know if she meant it the way that it came to me when I listened to them, but I can see where it's like, okay, yeah, I don't like the way they did him now. Like, I get it. Like, they really kicked him, did everything to him while he was down. Like, you could have just left and kept it, like, you really.
Yeah. Because even in Silver Flames, Rhys was still going back and checking on Tamlin and stuff.
And it was still
bad. I was just like, yeah. And I was like, boy, if you don't let go and let God, why are you in depression? But I was explaining this to my sister, Farah had help. Tamlin didn't get help. So I never looked at Tamlin like, ugh, he's such a punk. Like, I mean, he's a punk, but
he's
he's a punk. But let's be clear. At the times that it counted, he did what he was supposed to do. If you remember when they were escaping from the camp, Tamlin was there.
I understand that, but now. Yeah. He had opportunities for it not to get to where it got to. You know what I mean? Do I see her point? That yes, I do. But I also see that he had plenty of opportunities to not be that way. Like, Farah did try, like, you can't keep me locked up. Lucian tried. And then when all that shit started happening, that they started, like, when she started doing her manipulative shit, that's when it's like, wait a minute, you're feeding into everything, you're falling for everything she's putting out, because she knew that that's how he is at his core, that he would fall for it because that's who he is. Am I making sense? Like, yes, they kicked him down while he was down. They kicked him while he was down, yes. But he also contributed so much that brought him to where he was. It wasn't just like they were just dicks. Like, he contributed. He added to that. They were.
Here's the thing. SJM wrote Rhys as like a feminist king. That's the way I see it. She wrote Rhys as a feminist king, and I guess in our terms, Tamlin would be more traditional. So I feel like that's where the ick factor came from. But like I said, when he was under the mountain, he was traumatized. He didn't get the help. When Farah was traumatized, Rhys came and got her once a week, every month, like, hey, you need to eat. You need to learn how to read. I'm going to teach you how to do stuff for yourself.
But why
Tamlin was just
teach her how to read when they were together?
Tamlin is a weirdo. We've already established this. And then he used to throw his little temper tantrums. You remember when he blew up the whole room?
Little temper tantrum. Okay, so little, Colette, if that's little to you, I don't want to be around when you have a big one.
That's me falling out the chair at our job. Do you remember that? When we used to have our little days.
What type of tantrum was that?
That was me falling out the chair that day. You remember?
I know, but was it a little tantrum, a big tantrum?
I feel like that was a little tantrum. Let me tell you why.
A little one. A little one. Okay.
Let me tell you why.
Wait. If that's a little one, then what would we call what Tamlin did?
The big temper tantrum what Tamlin did is when he went to Highburn. After Farrah told her to leave him alone.
You don't remember when she came back to the spring court? How he had her room because he threw a tantrum? You don't remember the tantrum he threw when she went against the wall? But that was the
same thing he did in the first book.
Okay, but those are not little. We should talk about size. Those are big tantrums.
Listen, compared to you working with Highburn, I feel like those were little tantrums. If we're making comparisons.
If you're sending furniture flying, it's a big tantrum. There's no way around it, Colette.
I try to help you out, Tammy Tam. Like, I don't know what to tell you, Doug. But I think he's going to die.
You know it's bad when even your help is like, yes, please take her. Just save her. You know?
Can we get a special shout out to Alice? I feel like Alice was not appreciated enough.
I hope we see her again. Me too.
Yeah.
She was funny. And the way she had Feyre's back in the second book, I loved it.
You know, she's in the summer court. Just saying. She with my dog, Tarquin. Just saying. But yeah. So theory for Tamlin, he gonna die.
If he dies, I want Elaine to get the spring court. I don't know how they would set that.
Like, what are they going to do? Because if he dies, who's going to take over the spring court?
Lucian.
But is he still the second in command? Because he kind of like.
No, he left. Yeah, but what if Tamlin? What if Tamlin was like, oh, little bestie Lucian, I'm leaving my property. And then
what if Yancey takes it over?
I'm hot.
What if Yancey takes it over?
Come on, Elaine. Let's plant some flowers.
What if Yancey takes it over?
Bitch, no. Is she not dead yet?
I don't think she died.
What happened?
Did she die?
I'm in Wings and Ruin, and it's funny because I'm at the part where all the courts came to talk about the war with Highburn, and somebody said something about her, and Farrah was like, "That bitch," da, 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 and I'm like, "Yes." And
that's so funny. I literally just saw someone's reaction. She filmed her fiance's reaction to him reading the part where all the high fae meet, and you know Tamlin went in on that meeting. And it was like, do you listen to her when she has sex and she makes that little noise or whatever? And he jumped, the guy reading the book, he was like, oh, hell no, whoop his ass. Who are you talking to?
I saw that one.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, you are beyond disrespectful, sir. Like, this is not hurt. This is just disrespect. Yeah. But yeah. Tammy Tam, I don't know how they gonna make an arc for you. You gonna die. That's why they call you Tampon.
I hope he gets to have, I don't know, because there's a lot of bad blood between Tamlin and Rhys and all of that.
Yeah, they killed each other's family members and everything. Like, I don't.
But I because of how everything went down, as annoying as he is to me, and as much as I would want to throw punch him, I hope it turns around for him. I hope it turns around for him.
Yeah,
I hope.
I also think that mountain that they went to for the right.
Ramiel.
I think there's a portal under there.
I believe it because even in Throne of Glass, remember they had the mountain, the big sacred mountain and all that stuff. And they always, in each one of the books, except Crescent City.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have a mountain in the Ethereal City. Ethereal City, Ethereal City, don't
Ethereal.
they? Ethereal.
Yeah, we're gonna put these words up. We need somebody to help us pronounce stuff. We don't know how to say these words. We just read them.
If that,
like you said, I'm like, it's not ethereal because I've been saying ethereal.
The mountain. Oh, that person. That's Jim's cousin. If I'm not saying
right.
You also had an interesting theory about one of my main bitches in the series and all Amryn.
So, Amryn, y'all. Somebody. Okay. I'm going to say what I say, and then I'm going to let you know what someone else said. That kind of makes me look like, maybe not. So, I personally think in Crescent City, the Asteri had 7 ruling family members. 6 guys, 1 sister. Okay. So Apollyon, the Star Eater in Crescent City, they call him the Star Eater because they're called the stars. The Asteri are called the stars. And they killed the sister. I don't think they killed a sister. I think Amryn is the sister. Because Amryn was the only one that could understand Bryce when she came into the portal. And she said, girl, nobody has spoken that language for over 15,000 years. Bitch, how old are you? How you been here for 15,000 years? Rysand's like 4,500. So I understand.
She was a prisoner.
Yep. She was a prisoner under.
Wait. Where are
and
you
she said when she escaped the prison that she had to give up a lot of her power to fit into her Fae body.
She had to give up a lot of her power.
Yeah.
And she's still powerful. So
still powerful. More powerful than Rhys.
Imagínate.
And not only that, remember, she doesn't eat regular food. The Asteri don't eat food. I'm just saying.
Wait, I don't remember, and I haven't gotten there yet because they haven't had the war yet. After she comes back, that her eyes are not silver anymore. Does she still drink blood? I don't think I think she had to eat at that point, right?
She starts eating food because in Silver Flame, she's eating food.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she was I think she's the lost sister of the Asteri. I don't think she died. I think she was left behind. And I think that they just rewrote the history to make it seem like she died.
That makes sense.
Because they had to change a lot of it. And Jessica, who was also in Crescent City.
I'm so excited to learn more about.
But Jessica knows a lot of information. Jessica is one of the characters. She is essentially, she has like, what's it called? The Library of Alexandria that they have over in Israel.
Do you think that would make her part of Hellion's court?
Hellion does have that huge library.
And in Throne of Glass, Terracin had the library. But in Throne of Glass, in the TikTok that I saw, which I'll find it and we can link it below for everybody. And there, the TikTok, they were talking about, I don't know if you've gotten there yet, because I know you're doing Tower of Dawn. Sartak, you've met him.
Yeah.
Well, when he goes...
They get together with Nesrin?
Sartak?
Yeah.
Sartaq.
Yeah, I mean, they get together with Nesrin. Right?
Huh? What?
Get together with Nesrin, right?
You got that far already?
I'm asking you. Because he be seeming like he be talking to her.
You see how you get me? Throwing it out like you already got there. And I'm like, you got there already?
I felt it. The way he was talking to her, he's like, yeah, I can walk around my city. This is my hood, girl. I said, I know game when I hear it.
He did not, but yes, that would probably, no, I feel like he's, I should have put him for my S. Girl, you just gotta keep reading because he just becomes more delicious throughout. But his Hearth Mother is the story collector. I don't know if that's what they call it. Hearth Mother for the Rooks.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So he explains it. I don't know. I don't remember if he's the one that explains it, but they explain like they're collectors of memories, basically. You know, like did you ever read The Gift? The Gifter?
I did. I really enjoyed that. I watched the movie
they're
too.
Like, yeah, no, they're both really, really, really good. They're like that. Jessica is that.
Yes,
is the
Jessica
giver.
Knew a lot.
Gifter. It's the giver, guys, not the gifter. The giver.
But I knew what you were talking about. Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. Yeah.
You have me keep going. But yes. So Jessica is that. Throne of Glass has one. Do we have anybody in ACOTAR? But anyways, another thing that I was gonna say that came up. What is the mountain called where the prison is?
You asking the wrong one.
Anyways, I have a theory. And so you remember when we were talking and you said that you do not think, or you think that there's a possibility that Throne of Glass will not be part of the multiverse, or at least play into it like the characters.
Not in Crescent City 3, at least. I think at the end of Crescent City, they'll probably learn how to navigate portals.
Yes.
But I don't think the characters are going to come into Crescent City 3.
Oh, yeah, no. In Throne of Glass, you've gotten to the part where Parrington.
Yeah.
What is that place called?
I don't know, but it's under a mountain.
I feel like I'm going to... Lord of the Rings is coming out. I'm like, Mordor? Something with an...
But I know what you're talking about.
What if they turn that into the prison?
That makes sense.
What you said.
They're layered.
What talking about? They're layered. And what if I can't even because you're not that far yet. So we're gonna have to talk about this again once we finish Crescent City 3 and you finish all of the Throne of Glass. Because there's so much that I want to say now that I'm like, well, what if? Because all this stuff but we don't even know. But anyway, so yeah, Jessica is a memory collector. The Sartak's Hearth Mother was a collector. So I want to know more about.
So I'm assuming that storyteller that lived at Maeve's house, he was a collector too. The one that she used to work when Aelin went to work when Rowan first got her, and she had to work in the kitchens in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was a collector too.
That wasn't a she, was it? That was a he. The cook?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a collector.
Yes. You're right.
Because he would always tell those stories.
We have one in ACOTAR? The Bone Carver.
Well, I think that may be what the House of Wind is, because remember that's where that library. But no, Hellion had a larger library. I think Hellion probably needs to get a story because he knows way more. I see that. I see it. So Amryn is the lost sister of the Asteri. I think she is going to finally see her brothers after all these years. Centuries, millennia.
But Fury, remember, she looks like Fury. Oh, but another thing. Wait, I think we're onto it because listen, again, Wings and Ruin, they're all together arguing and fighting. It's beautiful. The Tinkerer comes in. And they were like, oh, don't you remember, where am I going with this? they basically the Tinker comes in, and there's something about her that reminded me of Crescent City. I'll come back to that because I'm in that part of the book. Wait.
But remember, not Bryce, Danica from Crescent City was a bloodhound, and a bloodhound can sniff your lineage. And Fury said, I knew what she was and she knew what I was, and that was our one secret, and we never brought it up again. But we never knew what Fury was.
And oh, I remember now. So when the Tinkerer comes in, the one that did Lucian's eye.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Tinkerer, yeah.
Yeah, Pharaoh was like, she looks like she took the way Amryn looks like she took the looks from the Tinkerer's people, because Amryn looked like she came from yes.
Mm.
Yes.
I just want to know how she escaped. Can we get that story?
Yeah.
You know whose story I do want? You know whose story I want? She can make it a novella. It doesn't have to be canonical, canon. That. It doesn't have to be canon. But Callius, you remember Callius and the girl? And he was in love with her the whole time, and then he finally told her before he went under the mountain. Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian.
I'd love to hear their story. That was just such a little romantic little story.
Yes, I think it's whatever. Anyway, the winter guy.
Yeah. But and then who else? Oh, I don't think Bryce's dad is bad.
I have it written down. I don't think so either. I don't think
he's bad. I think he's been working on stuff for a while. Bad.
Eris?
Yeah.
Eris?
I don't
think he's bad either.
I don't think so either. And I think that there's a lot that Moore is not telling people.
I think Moore's lying. And nobody's going to think twice about it because she's the Morrigan.
Yes. And what Eris said, but also in Nesta's book, in Silver Flames, Eris said no one is ever going to think twice about Moore because she has her people who love her and they believe her story. But there's a lot more that wasn't told. And Cassian was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Tell me. And he was like, I'm not going to tell you because you're not going to believe me.
Yep. I'm telling you. I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know. What did you do, Morgan?
Yeah, she did.
What did you?
And that's probably why her daddy treated her like shit. You was bad breed for money.
You just fucked up everything. Oh. You just effed up everything. Fuddy did all up because you didn't want to get married. Girl.
Right.
And then, because he was like, I think he did what he had to do, Eris, not to F things up in his court for himself, but still be able to save her. Because he said it in Wings and Ruin. He was like, when they brought him in, when Reese brought him in, and they were all like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done it like that. That was sloppy. How you did that? Blah 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 blah." He snapped.
When who said what? Wait, who said what?
When they went to go have a meeting with the Night Court, and they're all sitting there, and the doors open, and Eris comes in because him and Reese talked, and Eris was like, "I want to form an alliance with you guys." Remember that? And then everybody afterwards got mad because nobody but Reese knew he was showing up. So everybody got caught off guard. Morgan.
You think Reese knows? Because you know what I noticed? Reese knows a lot of stuff, and then he'll send you on a little side quest to confirm something that he already know.
Maybe. Or maybe
and
not.
I think he just overlooks it because it's his cousin.
Isn't she?
No. She's his younger cousin.
Well.
Yeah, she's the younger cousin. Because remember, when that happened, he had already graduated from that Illyrian camp and everything.
Yeah.
But I think he overlooks it because that's his cousin.
Or maybe he's just waiting for her. I don't know. I'd be mad if he knew and just let everything play out like that. I don't think Reese would do that. Do you? Or maybe he's giving her space.
He almost let his wife die and not tell her.
She didn't freaking come out and tell you for 500 years. You think she's just going to come up and be like, hey, Reese, guess what?
I'm just saying, Reese be knowing stuff. Reese be knowing stuff, and he be keeping people out the loop. And Farrah's biggest thing was always, don't keep me out the loop. That's what Tamlin used to do. And he still did it, even in Silver Flames.
I think...
So I feel like...
I know that there's times that sometimes it is best to keep stuff to yourself. So maybe that's what he's doing, Colette. Okay? Don't be coming.
Yeah, go ahead, defend him. Now, I do know that a lot of people didn't care for Reese in Silver Flames.
I don't remember him being in it.
Well, whenever Nesta had her point of view of telling what Reese did. People were like, he was overprotective, he was mean to her. And I was like, but he was overprotective and mean to her in the other books. What do you mean? I just feel like his character didn't change.
Character in this book? They've always had a love-hate. Not even love-hate. They've always had a I tolerate you relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. But for whatever reason, I don't know, people didn't like him. And I was like, you guys are weird. I don't know what book you were reading. He was always like this with her. I don't get it.
There's more on Az. First of all, nobody knows what the hell he is. Or where he got his powers from. Because even Reese says we don't even know. So I'm not just saying this, guys, just to talk. I love Az. Like, I think he's hot. And that whole silent brooding thing that he does, you know, I'm all for it. So, like, I want to be the one that you talk to. Come talk to me. You know that
I'm curious.
Keys song, Diary? Tell me the secret to put on your diary. I'll do that. I'll be that for Az. I don't want him to be bad. But what if him and Elaine have like a whole, what if she's bad too? Because we still have no idea. Oh, besides her seeing the future.
Can she still do that? I feel like she hasn't practiced and hasn't used her powers. She just want to bake bread and plant flowers. A little weird ass.
There's nothing weird about that.
You know what? You're right. She was trained to be a wife, a good housewife in times where they let her wear pink.
Out that Colette.
It is. She weird.
Flowers brings her joy. We should support.
Well, then go start a business with a lawn company or something.
Watch you tripping.
Watch, she gonna start growing whole new trees just out of nowhere.
Lord of the Rings style, just come out, start attacking people.
I am Groot finna pop up, just.
Oh my God! Vines coming out, dragging people down. That reminds me of a book I read called The Ruins. They actually made that shit a movie. This group of friends.
That on my reading list.
Yeah, the group of friends goes to South America. And they're like taking a tour, and I think they go off the path, and then they find this hill of vines, and they go on, and then they can never leave the hill. And the vines like play sounds like phones ringing and shit. Yeah,
stupid.
It was good. It was good.
I don't think it was a good thing that she went through the portal, because the Asteri told Bryce. Yeah. They told her, we just wanted your power for you to open the portal so we can go back. So I think when she went through, her time is very much limited. They're going to try to figure out a way to keep the portal open. I don't think, I don't know if they ever went to Terracin, where Throne of Glass was, because they said they went to multiple worlds, but I don't think they went to all different realms. But I think Luthien was one of them.
But what if the Astari are Valg?
That is an interesting theory, Elizabeth.
The Valg is a parasite that goes into your body, takes over the body. So what if they are Valg? And they're just in other bodies. And because think about it, in all these books, because in Throne of Glass, all they ever wanted to do was go back home. God, you just need to finish Throne of Glass because there's so much more that you don't know. So much.
You blew my mind with that one. I'm stuck on this theory being Valk. Like, hold on, Liz. You might have did something with that.
You guys have read them and you share or don't share my thoughts, please let us know. Do you think the Astari are Valg? I think they might be. It makes sense.
Dang, dog.
That's what I was trying to tell you, and you're like, okay, well, I'm not there yet. Let's wait. There were 3 Valg kings, brothers.
Yeah, Erewhon and yeah.
And the brothers were way more upset because obviously, Erewhon gets defeated. So yeah. They were, they're worse than Erewhon. So, imagínate.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I wonder if she's going to write books about hell since they came into play for Bryce.
That is another thing. Oh my God, we're going to have to do a part 2. That is another thing. Let's talk about hell. Let's talk about
how the Prince of the Chasm, is that Adis? No, the Prince of the Chasm is the one that came to Hunt. That is his pappy.
I don't know if it's just...
Oh, wait.
Stop. My mental issues.
Wait. Now that I remember it, because I'm old and I have to bring it back. Let me tell you why Hunt is Thor.
Because of the hammer.
That, but also, if you remember, in Crescent City 2, the very first opening scene, they talked about how Bryce went to the opera with her mom, and they were looking at a statue of a man hammering, using the lightning to hammer into a sword, and they said it looked like Hunt. But they said it looked like Hunt. So I think
he even said it. That is him.
He said what? When?
Hunt? From the war. A statue they put of him from the war, no?
No.
God, I'm so glad I'm rereading these before the book.
Yeah. No. He never said that. But the Prince of the Chasm, his daddy, that he don't know. I'm trying to figure out why he ain't say, Luke, I am your father. But anyways.
No, is that the one that he saw him? He's like, why? He got mad, really, really, really
and he
mad.
said, why do you have that on your face? Yes. Mm-hmm. The Prince of the Chasm. Remember, he's the strongest one. And there's 7 circles of hell, and he's the strongest one. That's the one that appeared to Hunt. Bryce never met him.
I think that the Illyrians are from hell. I think the Illyrians are a species from hell because of their wings. Because even in Throne of Glass, they talk about the wings. And then in ACOTAR, well, let's not even bring up Throne of Glass because this has nothing. ACOTAR, they have the seraphim.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But
so go.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that they had the seraphim. Here's the thing, though. In Crescent City 1, they said that the Asteri made the Celestina and Micah and all of them, they're seraphim too. They said the Asteri made them. So how did they make them? That's probably another lie. Because why would Celestina have to marry that guy to procreate if they could be made? Do you remember that?
Yeah. That poor lady.
And I think Celestina and Hypaxia are mates.
I think so too. And notice in each of the series, there's a golden hair witch. I don't know if that means anything. Or if I'm just looking, again, Murder, She Wrote, I don't know. Each series has a golden hair. There's Irene Towers. She's a healer. Golden hair, all that. From Throne of Glass. Then we have the golden hair witch that gave them the book that ended up getting killed by the freaking adder. And then Hypexia.
She got gold hair?
Yes. Right?
Listen, I just saw, I'm pretty sure she was black haired, black lady. That's how I imagine her in my head.
As I'm looking it up, we're going to post a picture or the description. Also, I forgot. Reese has the twins that are Wraiths. Crescent City, Hunt's little friend from the rebellion, the Wraith. Remember, they put her in a box and dropped her at the bottom of the ocean.
Bottom of the ocean. Yeah, I always wondered if that was going to come back into play.
I think so. It has to. Like, she won't be mad if they open that box. Remember, they said that drives a Wraith insane. So I don't know. I just threw that little tidbit out there. Not that it had anything to do with anything, but have fun nibbling on that.
No, but I think Bryce's dad has been trying to open portals for a while.
I think he's been trying to figure out. I think he's probably the most knowledgeable one on everything that's going on. And
he's just a
people
dick.
think this horrible guy, but he's really just so obsessed with figuring this out that he doesn't have the time or patience for anyone else.
Yes. Because when Bryce came over there and he had those numbers and he said, "Oh, you're looking into that too?" I said, "This man."
And he told her, "We're a lot more alike than you think."
Yeah. I was like, he be knowing. And I don't think Rune ever paid attention. I think Rune. Rune needs to go visit his mom's place in Avalon, whatever. I think he needs to learn how to use his powers because I think that he is Reese's descendant. And I think he just hasn't harnessed those powers. He's so worried about the star power that Bryce has, but I think he's powerful, like how Cormac was powerful, and he can winnow and do all of that stuff. And remember, he has that Daimati. Because remember, they needed the stone to speak, but he didn't need the stone with the hind. However, I think the hind is his mate, so I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't need it anyway.
I think so too. And I really hope she gets
a redemption arc.
Yes, because I like her. Like, I know right now
she's in a tough spot.
Yes, and I know right now she's like the bad guy or whatever, and you know, again, maybe it's my mental issues or whatever, but I like her, and I like the one that was the guy from Hell that was talking to Jessica. Adius. Yeah,
I think. I think Adis. Okay, so in the book, it said that the Asteri was the one appearing as, you know how he would appear as the cat? Adis would appear as the cat. And then the Asteri was like, "No, that was me. I was telling you all of this." You remember that? I don't think that's true. I think they have eyes everywhere. I think they know a lot more than they let on. I don't think they were infiltrating, though. I think
I do someone on the Astari side in Hell. I do think that the Astari have someone in Hell to help them.
You think so?
Remember, because not everything is peaches and cream in Hell either. They're going through their own stuff that they're trying to get everything in order before.
I wonder what that realm is, if it's one realm, because they said it's 7 rings of Hell.
What if each realm is one of our realms? Like each ring has its own land. Like one ring is for Throne of Glass. One ring is for Akatar. One ring is for...
They're interacting with Bryce and them. I don't see them interacting with anyone else. At least not that I have witnessed. But also, I just want to point out that...
If you need to finish Throne of Glass.
Jesus. Okay, I'm going to have to finish it. All right. Also, I want to point out that I think that the reason why I feel like those two were merged or not merged, but connected is because a lot of them share the same stories, but told differently. Did you realize that for ACOTAR and for Crescent City?
Yes. And then in Throne of Glass, did you get to the part where they found the dungeon with all the bones?
The dungeon? The temple?
The temple, yeah.
Okay.
Girl,
yeah.
It sounds more like a dungeon to me than a temple. Like, you tell me, oh yeah, the temple with skulls all along. I'll be like, no. I'm good.
Yeah. And Brandon finally talked to her. He finally made an appearance.
They got on my damn nerves throughout the whole series. I felt Aelin when it came to that. I felt her. Like,
yeah,
I need help all these times, and you're going to come to me when I don't need it and give me extra instructions.
Right. You need to go do this. What? Why? I'm tired.
I haven't even finished this.
So what? Okay. All right. So just to recap, because we're going to have to come back after reading Crescent City 3. What are your theories for Crescent City 3? How do you think it is going to come into play? Azrael is bad. I think he's going to die.
Because what if that scene is because Azrael's fighting Nesta because he's bad?
Because she's bad?
No. Because he's bad. I don't know, because the way he stands up for Feyre just like has my heart. Has my heart. He really does. I need to find that, because when I saw, because once you watch one TikTok about something, everything else comes in. So when I started reading more about the Az stuff, and it's like, of course, right now I'm drawing a blank, but it just makes sense in some cases. I don't want to be right. I think the Astaria Vow. I think Colette needs to finish Throne of Glass so that she has more insight on all the things that I want to tell her about and why I think they're all connected. But maybe they're not. Maybe I just want them to be connected because I love Throne of Glass. I don't know.
I think that story comes into play, and we need to focus on that. About Hellion and the Queen. I think Hellion from Crescent City.
Yeah.
I think that we need to pay attention to that. Something is going on with that, because in ACOTAR, they essentially have the same story about the Queen and how she created the trove and she was betrayed.
I heard that they think that's Hunt and Bryce. That Bryce is going to betray Hunt because of Orion. And Orion's his name. The story of Orion, how he got betrayed by his lover. And they think that history is going to repeat itself and Bryce is going to betray Hunt. I don't see that happening because Bryce is pretty diehard.
Betray him how? That's her mate. You know what? With SJM, you never know.
True. Yeah. We're definitely going to have to come back.
So we'll be back, you guys. Let us know. Have you read those books? Do you have any theories? What do you think? Do you think Azrael is going to die? Do you think he's bad? I think he's going to die. She thinks he's bad.
I don't... It's just so much that just doesn't make sense to me.
It's a lot. So just to recap, real quick. I put down the first thing I put. Liz thinks Azrael is bad. I think Azrael is going to die. Amryn is the lost Asteri sister. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Let us know.
I do.
Emery and Gwen are going to come into play. I think people were more focused on Nesta finding a family, but I think that they did the drop and they're going to come into play because they harness some type of power that they just don't know yet.
Nesta also harnesses power. She made it to the second. Each level has powers.
Yes.
So she made it to the second one.
And I think the mother
gave up her powers, right? When she
gave up some. But remember, when she stopped time, she spoke to the mother, not the cauldron. Remember, the mother made the cauldron. She spoke to the mother, and the mother was like, I'll probably come back to you again. So she's going to come back into play. I don't think Nessa's going to die. I think Azrael is going to die, though. From whatever that scene was that SJM released.
And, another thing about Az, not in a bad way, but what if everybody thinks that Az is watching more because he's in love with her, but what if it's because he knows something about her because of his shadows?
Because she's been lying all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Just a liar, cheater, a deceiver, heartbreaker. I don't want you back in my life. And then the final one is Esther Val, which dropped. I didn't even think about that. You might be on something.
But yeah.
So yeah, the exterior valve, like that makes a lot of sense.
Or they're connected. I mean, I think it makes sense because they're parasites.
At the end of this book, though, I'm pretty sure they're gonna learn how to navigate portals.
And they feed off of fear, the Valg.
Yep.
And malice and all of that, just like the Asteris bitch ass.
You might be on to something, girl. You might be on to something.
What
All right, y'all.
One more week.
Azrael's bad. He gonna die. All right.
I don't want him to die. I don't want him to be bad either. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't know. I think Elaine is up to something, though.
She's just too quiet for me.
Right. I wonder what Jurian's gonna do. Jurian's probably gonna die.
I hope not. I like Jurian. I think he's funny.
I like Jurian too, but I think he's gonna die. I think he's.
I mean, what is he?
Not that he's not a main character, you know. Baxian is gonna die.
Who the fuck is Baxian?
Baxian from Crescent City, Danica's mate.
Oh yeah. You think Therian's gonna die? He annoys me sometimes.
Therian is going to die. Stupid.
He annoys me sometimes. Like, there's times that I'm like, oh yeah, I like him, and then I'm like,
wait. I just thought of something. Ariadne, the dragon.
Remember?
No, Ariadne.
No, I know.
Oh, girl. I'm like, what? No, not Fourth Wing.
Oh my god, I forgot that.
Ariadne, the dragon.
Yes. Okay. So in Wings and Ruin, they talk about this guy who keeps the dragon in a glass, in a box, in a black box, which is what the astronomer guy does in Crescent City. And that's when Ethan went back and took the box, the dragon. They're like, no, don't let her out, remember? And they were like, in Wings and Ruin, they talked about it, how they never found the dragon. The dragon would be in the 20s and all this stuff. And it fit everything. And the astronomer, we know, can travel realms. Because that's what he's doing. He sends them into hell. So what's to say he didn't send one of those people into whatever, into another realm through hell? So maybe you could get through each realm through a portal through hell. I don't know. That's just me making shit up right now. But anyways, and he got the,
I was gonna say Ariadne is related to Reese.
Well, I think Ariadne is what they're talking about, or is Vasa, or related to Vasa from Wings and Ruin. The Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I'm.
That's another thing. Each one of these damn books have a frozen lake that is guarded by a monster. Remember Bone Carver's sister or brother?
Weaver.
No, it's the Bone Carver, the Weaver, and then Stragna.
Yeah, whatever his name was. I never remembered his name for whatever reason. I can't remember. Just.
I think that's it. I don't know. So, I don't know. We'll post more as we figure it out.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Let us know. Have you read Actar, Crescent City, Throne of Glass? What are your theories? Do you agree? Just to highlight what we've discussed. This thing, Azrael, is bad. I'm going to keep saying it. I think Azrael is going to die. Amryn is the lost Asteri sister.
And I think Amryn and Fury are the same.
Yes, there's some type of relation there. Mm-hmm. And I vaguely remember something saying that Amryn said that she was like a messenger, but I don't know if that was.
Yes. I think you're right.
So I'm feeling like
I remember I just heard her story. She hid. Like she
I'm feeling like did she scout the worlds or something?
I don't remember.
So
because I remember it was her and her brothers and sisters, and they were really like all about Ruckus and all that stuff, and the portal opened and she just left.
Okay. And then I think Emery and Gwen did the drop, so they're going to come into play. I think they have powers that they haven't even realized yet, they haven't harnessed, haven't trained on, all of that.
And she's Illyrian.
Yeah. And I think she's going to get more siphons than the typical one that they get because she made it to the top.
Back?
You know what?
Or
it might fix her wings.
Make her wings.
It could fix her wings. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then the exterior valve, which Liz dropped, that might drop, That's it right there.
Yeah.
So again, you all, let us know. Have you read them? What do you think? Any additional theories that you have? Yeah. Let us know. We can discuss. Let's talk about it. If you haven't gotten that far, that's fine. Because Liz apparently has more theories she doesn't want to discuss with me because I haven't finished the rest of the books. It's fine. I'm going to finish them.
I don't feel
We're going to come back and discuss Crescent City 3.
I feel bad.
She doesn't feel bad. We're going to come back and discuss Crescent City 3. See if any of our theories held up. Oh, and the Prince of Chasm is Hunt's dad. I didn't remember to write that, but yeah. That's his pappy.
Oh, and that Jessica is a story collector or memory.
Is a story collector. Yep. Jessica's a story collector. So let us know, you guys. Come back. Thank you for sticking with us because I know this is going to be a pretty long video. It's a little bit all over the place. It's fine. It's fine. Follow us. Run with us.
We love you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But of course, always, as always, you guys, thank you so much for coming, watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, following us, even on Instagram. All of that.
And well, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. But you guys, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Yes.